Hello and welcome to, I guess we could call it episode 1. And I guess this evening, as it rains on the roof above me, I want to talk about how my dives went today. So today I did my Avelo recreational diver specialty course, and I found out that it does not count towards the course itself doesn't count towards like how many specialty courses you need for Dive Master through PADI, because it's not a PADI specialty course, but the dives itself do count. So that's good. The Avelo dive system is, I'm not gonna bore you with like all like the crazy physics and how it all works and all that. I will probably be doing a video that goes more in depth of how it works. I'm trying to think if the weather's looking good for next Saturday. So 7 days, a week from now. If the weather's looking good, clear, I may be getting invited to go back out to Lake Denton again to get some more practice on the system. Originally, when I was talking to the dive master, it was like, yeah, you might be able to come. And so I don't know, maybe it will work out. Maybe I will get to log a dive. Originally, I was saying that I just pick up standard scuba cylinder, but it's like, okay, I have this specialty now. I want to get more practice on it. That way, the information doesn't go just blank out of my mind. And that's like one of the big things that dive shops really try to get you to do after signing up, after completing your open water course, is to tell you like, all right, a lot of dive shops even offer like discounts on your first maybe 1, 2, maybe even 3 trips with them. Just local diving trips. That way you get just more experience diving, and you really try to get those core functions like setting up your equipment, BRAF buddy checks, like just going through like all the safety checks and everything. But today went really well, and of course I still need more time to dive the system. Today I only logged about an hour on the system in total, and a lot of that was doing setup. Well, I mean, the whole hour that I logged was diving. But I'm saying just a lot of that was drills, getting weighting correctly. It was not really a whole lot of like free kind of play around time. So I think I will probably be wanting to take that system. I think like where that system will really do good for me is a place like Blue Grotto. Blue Grotto is a 100-foot deep cavern, recreational through technical side mount divers. I mean, there's something there for all levels, including cave divers. They have a little secluded cave like right in the, I guess, the back. That's a little bit difficult to get to, but I mean, if you're a cave diver, you can get to it. I've failed to find a cave chart online, so if anyone knows where I can find the layout of that cave, I would be super interested just to look at it. Maybe even dive it a little bit later on when I have like way more experience, because I mean, I'm not familiar with that cave system at all. I mean, like there are caves that, oh yeah, you can do these on your first few cave dives, and then there's like caves like Eagle's Nest, where it's like you shouldn't even be going there at all. Like generally, like Eagle's Nest, any cave diver, that's a hard no. But back to today's dives, they went really well. Setting up the Avelo system, I'm new to setting it up. From what the dive master instructor was saying, is that he's able to set it up a lot faster than a traditional piece of standard scuba equipment and get in faster a lot quicker. So I could see this even coming to something like emergency personnel diving, such as fire rescue, special operations fire rescue, police departments. I have a buddy, his TikTok handle is Need a Diver. I think it's need.a.diver. And he does a lot of salvage and recovery work, and a lot of it is just like picking up cell phones off the bottom of the lake. But times when he's working in swift water and he needs a bunch of additional weight on him, I don't think this system would be the best fit for him. I think if you're doing swift water recovery work and you need to be down there for a long time, it sounds like a pain in the butt, but be quite honest, a commercial diving hard hat, probably 15-20 pounds of lead would suit you best to make sure you're planted on the bottom and you have just about unlimited amount of breathing gas. Other than that, your second best bet is probably going to be diving like a steel 100 and wearing, once again, probably 15 pounds of lead, whether it's around your ankles or your weight pockets. If you can, let me tell you, if you can find a way to cram 15, 16 pounds of lead into the weight pockets of any BCD, send me a photo. Like, please do, because that is seriously impressive. I struggle to get 12 pounds of weight into my pockets. I know. But today's dives went excellent. I mean, the Velo system, it takes a very true genius, Albert Einstein of diving, to design a system like this and to perform the way that it did. I think that it will definitely be a good system to have in the future. And I could very, very easily see this system becoming popular within, like, we're talking so popular to the point where you're getting taught open water classes on the system in the next 5 to 10 years. I think there's definitely still some improvement, and it's like super, super little things where it's like, oh, you could change this, you could change this, blah, 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 blah. I think one of the big things is that really appeals to me with something like the Shearwater diving company as a whole. Their Shearwater turret currently can share air pressure between multiple computers. So let's say me and Billy Bob are going diving. I can share my air pressure with Billy Bob. Billy Bob can see my air pressure and his air pressure, and I can see his, he can see mine. It works out great. And it's just because instead of you going, oh, how much air do you have, like every 5 to 10 minutes, it's, oh, Billy Bob has 2,000 psi remaining, whatever. We need to turn around at 1,800. Great. And honestly, at that point, if you're saying you're going to turn around at 1,800 and you're at 2,000 psi and you're ready to call a dive, just call, man. There's no reason to sit around and just use up another 200 psi just to figure out what you're doing. And I mean, sometimes that few hundred psi can make a serious difference. If there's an emergency, you need to do something, adjust something, it really can. Another big question that I get, moving away from today's dives and how things went, one of the biggest questions that I get so much, and it's so overwhelming, is how long can you make your oxygen tank last underwater? And I want to be respectful, but divers are not breathing pure oxygen underwater past 13 feet unless you're a decompression technical diver, because past 13 feet you are it's called CNS oxygen toxicity. It's your nervous system, and at pressure, our nervous system, I'm trying to put this in super simple terms, our nervous system almost like interprets the oxygen as a higher percentage of oxygen than what it actually is. And Navy divers have found out that your central nervous system oxygen toxicity level will cause you to have seizures if you go what's above called a 1.6. And for perspective, right now on the surface, sitting in this room, I'm breathing in 0.21 or 21% oxygen. 1.6 is what our nervous system is interpreting as 160% oxygen. It's a lot. I mean, it's oxygen overload at that point. And that's why hyperbaric therapy works really, really well, because we know increased levels of oxygen can help with healing processes and all that fun jazz, wound care. It's used in a lot of medicine today. But there's risks associated with that, such as going past the 1.6, and some people have found out they can go to 1.7. I've even heard rare cases of a 1.8, which is mind-blowingly impressive. You should never be pushing above a 1.4 unless you are a decompression technical diver with 400 dives logged. That's the only time you should be doing that. And they have specific reasons, which I'm not going to cover on this channel, because purely I want to keep this just to recreational divers and that group of people and people new and interested into diving in the ocean. But other than that, you're not breathing 100% oxygen in your tank. We fill it off a specialized air compressor that is super heavily filtered. It is the cleanest breathing air you can possibly find, and it's clean as clean can get. Like, hospitals could use it. It's that clean. I mean, we're talking probably 4 stages of filtration, carbon filter. I mean, I've even seen compressors with a UV light to kill off bacteria. I mean, clean. And there are cases, though, where divers do purposefully add oxygen into the cylinder and that's where what we call nitrox is coming in. Nitrox is a different breathing gas mixture that we keep in our cylinder. And the reason you need to get your nitrox specialty, if you would like to dive nitrox, having a higher percentage of oxygen in the cylinder, is because what I was talking about with central nervous system oxygen toxicity. You take 32% oxygen in your cylinder, start with it 0.32 on the surface. You drop down past 100 feet and you're going to be starting to approach 1.6, 160%, which is your body's limit. If you have a seizure underwater, I hate to say it, there's almost no saving you. Almost none. Unless you are wearing a full face mask that the gods have blessed you with, there's just about nothing you can do, because almost as soon as you have a seizure underwater, the regulator falls out of your mouth and you start inhaling water rapidly too. Because when you're having a seizure, it's your brain's electrical signals misfiring and causing muscle contractions and all the stuff that you are aware of. And I've heard it is very terrifying. And I mean, you start inhaling water, and I mean, our bodies are not made to inhale water or pull the oxygen out of water. So you have no usable air, oxygen, nothing. And there's just about nothing you can do. So a lot of divers saying, oh, I dive nitrox all the time without my nitrox specialty. I have a buddy with a compressor that can fill nitrox. You got a death wish, okay? You're literally asking for it. There's no reason you should be diving nitrox without a nitrox specialty done. I mean, it literally takes all of 3 hours in the afternoon, in the evening, to complete at a dive shop. No dives required. Easiest course and very price reasonable. But other than that, nitrox is not so we can go deeper, but it is so we can go deep and stay longer. So you go to 100 feet on air, your no decompression limit before nitrogen absorbs in all the tissues in your body, and you have to make mandatory stops on your way up to avoid getting the bends or decompression sickness. At 100 feet diving air inside your cylinders, 21% or 0.21 is going to give you about maybe 9, let's call it 10 minutes of no decompression time. Please do not use this video as I'm Googling how long I can stay at 100 feet on air. Don't use this video as that. Don't do it. But after that, you fill up all the nitrogen in your system, and your computer tells you you gotta go to these depths for this amount of time. And if you don't follow that, you are almost guaranteed to get decompression sickness. In fact, you are guaranteed to get decompression sickness. And for recreational divers, you should not be exceeding that no decompression time. And when you get to about 5 to 7 minutes remaining is when you should be starting heading back up. That way you don't come close to it. With nitrox, let's say we have 32% nitrox in our cylinder, so 32% oxygen. And the purpose is not because oxygen is better for you at depth, it's to push the nitrogen out of the cylinder. Because currently the way that nitrox, there's 2, maybe 3 ways to fill nitrox currently. Partial pressure mixing, which is you have a oxygen clean cylinder, because oxygen is a flammable, or not a flammable gas, but an oxidizer. It's an oxidizing gas causing fires to speed up and rapidly grow. So to be clear, I cannot have a tank of 100% oxygen, rip the valve open, and hold the lighter in front of it, and it's going to shoot a big fireball. That is impossible. It will blow the lighter out. because there's nothing for it to burn off of. It will suffocate. And if you look at a image of a fire triangle, or if you know it off the top of your head, which I normally do, I can't think of it this time. It's like fuel, oxygen, energy. I think that's it. Fuel, oxygen, energy. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Please go ahead. But the whole point is to push nitrogen out of the cylinder. So there's partial pressure blending, where you have a oxygen clean sensor, meaning you can feed 100% oxygen into that cylinder with no risk of a fire. You fill it to a set pressure. Let's say we're trying to get to 32%. You maybe fill it to, 1200 psi, and you fill the rest to air using just air. You unhook it after filling up with air, let it cool, and hook it up to a oxygen and nitrox analyzer, and it gives you your percent, and then you can fiddle with it from there to get the exact mixture that you need. Generally, if you ask for a bottle or a tank of 32% from a dive shop, they maybe give you 31, 33, 32.5. I'm not going to go into rounding nitrox. Save that for a instructor, technical diver type person. They will tell you so much about it. But at that depth, we can stay on 32% for, let's call it, 14 minutes. Great. Well, at 14 minutes, we're going to have the same amount of nitrogen in our body as we're going to on air. So the people that say, oh, nitrox makes me feel better after diving. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Unless you're diving at super, super shallow depths where it can actually reduce. Like let's say you're diving at 60 feet, your no decompression time on air is 30 minutes. You're planning to do a 15-minute dive. If you do a 15-minute dive on 36% nitrox, of course, you are going to intake less nitrogen than other divers diving on air. And in that case, nitrox would make you feel better because you would have less nitrogen absorption in your system. Your gradient factor would be lower when you get back onto the surface. That being said, so don't go to 100 feet on 32, stay there for the full amount of time and say, oh, nitrox makes me feel so much better. No, it doesn't, because you still have the same amount of nitrogen in your system as you would diving air. That's nitrox out of the way. Yay! I don't think I really have anything else to talk for tonight. It's already 10:34. I'm sleepy. Been diving today, been running around. That being said, just ask any questions. There's no bad questions ever. Even if you're some crazy professional tech diver and you're like, hey Nathan, does this sound right? If I don't know the answer, great. I will do some research on it, fact check it, and if I'm still unsure even the slightest bit, I'm going to reach out to the dive professionals in the community and be like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? This guy asked a question. What should I tell him? And they should be either willing to give me an answer or point me in the direction of where I can find an answer. Even if that means them saying, hey, take a look in your nitrox textbook. If that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. But no bad questions ever, no matter what level, what certification you are. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And the last thing that I will say is my Ginny Springs day dive got canceled. Dive master wasn't feeling good. It happens. Good news though. Guess who's going shark tooth hunting with Black Flag Dive Center? This guy. I have not gotten a chance to dive with John in Honesty before, and I am super excited for it. And John, from what I've heard, John makes a killer barbecue. So, can't wait. It is going to be a lot of fun. And I think I'll be able to more easily get some footage out of that and hopefully find some huge shark teeth. I mean, I've seen people come back with shark teeth almost the size of my face. Like, then again, those sharks were alive like millions of years ago, so not a concern for today. I still have my wristband on. Look at that. Another big thing is don't try to sneak into a dive site without paying like your $5 admission fee. Like, you know how many divers I saw like going into like a separate parking lot entrance to Devil's Den just to avoid, like, I think it's like a $12 entrance fee. Just pay it. There's a church that owns it, so unless you don't like churches, it's simply just a donation to the church when you think about it. Other than that, I don't think that's all. But next week I'm trying to figure out if I can go to Lake Denton next Saturday, and in that case then I'll bring my camera along and fun jazz, and maybe even sit out a dive to film a video or do it afterwards or before. Who knows? But if that happens, that would be awesome, because I would get to have the unit in my hands, show you guys the stuff that I love about it, the stuff that I think should be changed, and what I don't like and don't know what to do about. Other than that, the course was fantastic. It was super enjoyable. That is all for tonight. I cannot wait for Lake Denton next weekend, fingers crossed, and the Shark Tooth Dive with John and Honesty from Black Flag Dive Center. It is going to be a lot of fun. Good night, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.